Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 24th. Thank you for watching yesterday. I saw that I had 32 views the last time I checked. So thanks for watching. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to. It's Mrs. C. Witta. And today I'm coming to you from, oh wait a minute, I can't tell you where I'm coming from. And yesterday, Cooper and Jim guessed it correctly. They guessed New York City, and let me show you real quick. So Cooper posted that, New York City. I'm not sure if you can read it. I think it's New York City, and he was right and Jim was right. So let me give you a couple clues about where I am today. This is a large city that's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It has a population of over 1 million. And it's known for Waikiki Beach and a dormant volcano that's called Diamond Head. So see if you can figure out where I am this morning. I have loved seeing what you guys have put on your portfolios in Class Dojo. Let me show you just a few things that I received. I won't have time to show everybody, but let me just show you. I got a video from Jackson. And I got a picture of Eliana, and I got work from Jacob and a video. I'll find that here in just a second. Let's see. Yep, so 3 different assignments that were sent through messages that I got from Jacob. Kind of hard to see. So thank you for taking the time to look at assignments that you can do for ELA, which is also reading, social studies, math, and science. Max also had a lot of fun. Let me pull him up real quick. He did several videos having to do with the planets, either the order of the planets or planets he made up. And then he also submitted a video of telling me what he had done for reading. So thank you again. Keep up the great work. You guys are doing awesome at home, and I love hearing from you. So we'll get on to our next chapter in Charlotte's Web. This chapter is Chapter 13, Good Progress. Far into the night, while the other creatures slept, Charlotte worked on her web. First, she ripped out a few of the orb lines near the center. She left the radial lines alone, and they were needed for support. As she worked, her 8 legs were a great help to her. So were her teeth. She loved to weave, and she was an expert at it. When she was finished ripping things out, her web looked something like this. A spider can produce several kinds of thread. She uses a dry, tough thread for foundation lines, and she uses a sticky thread for snare lines, the ones that catch and hold insects. Charlotte decided to use her dry thread for writing the new message. If I write the word terrific with sticky thread, she thought, every bug that comes along will get stuck in it and spoil the effect. Now let's see. The first letter is T. Charlotte climbed to a point at the top of the left-hand side of the web. Swinging her spinnerets into position, she attached her thread and then dropped down. As she dropped, her spinning tubes went into action and she let out thread. At the bottom, she attached the thread. This formed the upright part of the letter T. Charlotte was not satisfied, however. She climbed up and made another attachment right next to the first. Then she carried the line down so that she had a double line instead of a single line. It will show up better if I make the whole thing with double lines. She climbed back up, moved over about an inch to the left, and touched her spinnerets to the web, and then carried a line across to the right, forming the top of the T. She repeated this, making it double. Her 8 legs were very busy helping. Now for E. Charlotte got so interested in her work, she began to talk to herself, as though to cheer herself on. If you had been sitting quietly in the barn cellar that evening, you would have heard something like this. Now for the R. Up we go. Attach, descend, pay outline. Whoa, attach, good. Up you go. Repeat. Attach, descend, pay outline. Whoa, girl. Steady now. Attach, climb, attach. Over to the right. Pay outline. Attach. Right now and down and swing that loop and around and around. Now into the left. Attach, climb, repeat. Okay. Easy. Keep those lines together. Now, then, out and down for the leg of the R. Pay outline. Whoa, attach, ascend, repeat. Good girl. And so, talking to herself, the spider worked at her difficult task. When it was completed, she felt hungry. She ate a small bug that she had been saving. Then she slept. Next morning, Wilbur arose and stood beneath the web. He breathed the morning air into his lungs. Drops of dew catching the sun made the web stand out clearly. When Lurvy arrived with breakfast, there was the handsome pig, and over him, woven neatly in block letters, was the word terrific. Another miracle. Lurvy rushed and called Mr. Zuckerman. Mr. Zuckerman rushed and called Mrs. Zuckerman. Mrs. Zuckerman ran to the phone and called the Arabelles. The Arabelles climbed into their truck and hurried over. Everybody stood at the pig pen and stared at the web and read the word over and over, while Wilbur, who felt really terrific, stood quietly swelling out his chest and swinging his snout from side to side. Terrific! Breathed Zuckerman in joyful admiration. Edith, you'd better phone the reporter on the Weekly Chronicle and tell him what has happened. He will want to know about this. He may want to bring a photographer. There isn't a pig in the whole state that is as terrific as our pig. The news spread. People who had journeyed to see Wilbur when he was some pig came back again to see him now that he was terrific. That afternoon, when Mr. Zuckerman went to milk the cows and clean out the tie-ups, he was still thinking about what a wondrous pig he owned. Lurvy, he called, there is to be no more cow manure thrown down into that pig pen. I have a terrific pig. I want that pig to have clean, bright straw every day for his bedding. Understand? Yes, sir, said Lurvy. Furthermore, said Mr. Zuckerman, I want you to start building a crate for Wilbur. I have decided to take the pig to the county fair on September 6th. Make that crate large and paint it green with gold letters. What will the letters say? Asked Lurvy. They should say, Zuckerman's Famous Pig. Lurvy picked up a pitchfork and walked away to get some clean straw. Having such an important pig was going to mean plenty of extra work, he could see that. Below the apple orchard, at the end of a path, was the dump where Mr. Zuckerman threw all sorts of trash and stuff that nobody wanted anymore. Here is a small clearing hidden by young alders and wild raspberry bushes, was an astonishing pile of old bottles and empty tin cans and dirty rags and bits of metal and broken bottles and broken hinges and broken springs and dead batteries and last month's magazines and old discarded dish mops and tattered overalls and rusty spikes and leaky pails and forgotten stoppers and useless junk of all kinds, including a wrong-sized crank for a broken ice cream freezer. Templeton knew the dump liked it. There were good hiding places there, excellent cover for a rat, and there was usually a tin can with food still clinging to the inside. Templeton was down there now, rummaging around. When he returned to the barn, he carried in his mouth an advertisement he had torn from a crumbled magazine. How's this? He asked, showing the ad to Charlotte. It says crunchy. Crunchy would be a good word to write in your web. Just the wrong idea, replied Charlotte. Couldn't be worse. We don't want Zuckerman to think Wilbur is crunchy. He might start thinking about crisp, crunchy bacon and tasting him. That would put ideas into his head. We must advise Wilbur's noble qualities and not his tastiness. Go get another word, please, Templeton. The rat looked disgusted, but he sneaked away to the dump and was back in a while with a strip of cotton cloth. How's this? He asked. It's a label off an old shirt. Charlotte examined the label. It said, pre-shrunk. I'm sorry, Templeton, she said, but pre-shrunk is out of the question. We want Zuckerman to think Wilbur is nicely filled out, not all shrunk up. I'll have to ask you to try again. What do you think I am, a messenger boy? Grumbled the rat. I'm not going to spend all my time chasing down to the dump after advertising material. Just once more, please, said Charlotte. I'll tell you what I'll do, said Templeton. I know there's a package of soap flakes in the woodshed. It has writing on it. I'll bring you a piece of the package. He climbed the rope that hung on the wall and disappeared through a hole in the ceiling. When he came back, he had a strip of blue and white cardboard in his teeth. There, he said triumphantly. How's that? Charlotte read the words. With new radiant action. What does it mean? Asked Charlotte, who had never used any soap flakes in her life. How should I know? Said Templeton. You asked for words and I brought them. I suppose the next thing you want me to do is fetch a dictionary. Together they studied the soap ad. With a new radiant action, repeated Charlotte slowly. Wilbur, she called. Wilbur, who was asleep in the straw, jumped up. Run around, commanded Charlotte. I want to see you in action to see if you are radiant. Wilbur raced to the end of the yard. Now, back again, faster, said Charlotte. Wilbur galloped back. His skin shone. His tail had a fine, tight curl in it. Jump into the air, cried Charlotte. Wilbur jumped as high as he could. Keep your knees straight and touch the ground with your ears, called Charlotte. Wilbur obeyed. Do a backflip with a half twist in it, cried Charlotte. Wilbur went over backwards, writhing and twisting as he went. Okay, Wilbur, said Charlotte. You can go back to sleep. Okay, Templeton, the soap ad will do, I guess. I'm not sure Wilbur's actions is exactly radiant, but it's interesting. Actually, said Wilbur, I feel radiant. Do you? Said Charlotte, looking at him with affection. Well, you're a good little pig, and radiant you shall be. I'm in this thing pretty deep now. I might as well go to the limit. Tired from his romp, Wilbur lay down in the clean straw. He closed his eyes. The straw seemed scratchy, not as comfortable as the cow manure, which was always delightfully soft to lie in. So he pushed the straw to one side and stretched out in the manure. Wilbur sighed. It had been a busy day, his first day of being terrific. Dozens of people had visited his yard during the afternoon, and he had to stand and pose looking as terrific as he could. Now he was tired. Fern had arrived and seated herself quietly on her stool in the corner. And I'm going to stop there. We do have more pages in our chapter. However, I'm going to stop there and we'll finish it tomorrow. So go ahead and submit your second choice of the week for your assignments and let me know where you think I'm sending my message from this morning. Have a great day. Bye.